It's an honor to be with you and do this. Today I wanted to talk about this connecting our Buddhist practice with what I'm teaching this week, nonviolent communication, also called compassionate communication. And so I'm just going to go through some points. So it's like those two columns kind of thing, you know, one this and one that. The first, I want to start with, our Buddhist practice. We strive to live from particular values, manifest those values. And in NVC, or compassionate communication, we're also really working to be in touch with what's the underlying value, and we also call it universal need, that's motivating our behavior in a given moment, or that someone else might be holding in a given moment. And in Buddhist practice, we talk about approaching life, whatever it is, with a certain quality of mind. And in relationships, as we practice NVC, we're talking about approaching our relationships with a certain quality of connection. So in both cases, we're attempting to release our attachment to the content, the thing, the topic, the agenda, wherever it might be, in favor of what's that underlying consciousness that's present in our mind and in our heart and in the relationship with the other person. And being present with experience. So Buddhist practice is continually saying, slow down, be mindful, notice what you're experiencing. And in NVC practice, we're not only saying be aware of your experience, but also speak from your experience. So it's hard. I think that's a hard one because we actually rarely do that. Yeah? We have an experience and then we give the other person the condensed version, which might be a directive or an idea or a concept. Yeah? Often we're speaking one removed from our experience. You can tell when someone's speaking from their experience because they usually get 100% of your attention because it's so rare. You're like, authenticity, something real is happening, right? And you tune in. So we had in our workshop yesterday a struggle, a difficulty, and someone was trying to repair that difficulty, and she got the sheet out, and I could see like her body goes, So in NVC, for those listening that might not know about it, there's like syntax and vocabulary and all these very concrete tools. And so she was getting hung up on the tool, so she tossed her paper to the back, and she said, okay, from the heart. Which is exactly what I'm trying to teach, right? I'm not actually trying to teach vocabulary and syntax. I'm trying to teach speaking from the heart. And whatever words she used in that moment, she connected with the other person. And that's what we're after, that connection, quality of connection. And then, of course, there's craving. We're always working with craving, right? Our enslaver. And so in our Buddhist practice, we're trying to see the impermanent quality of things, the inherent lack of lasting satisfaction in the things of the world. And in Buddhism, I already said that part, other column, in NVC, we're also attempting to really be in this alive, flowing consciousness. So as we focus on our experience, we're also, even as we name it, we know it's already changed, right? That feelings and needs and observations and perceptions and requests are constantly flowing, constantly changing. One of my, because I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to sorting out experience. I just love it. So I really love the Abbey Dharma in Buddhism, right? It's just like, wow. People have sat and meditated and they have really sorted experience to this astounding subtlety, yeah? I love the way it allows me to have a little space from what's happening and see it arise and disappear more quickly. So Marshall Rosenberg, the founder, I think this is one of his most ingenious things that he gave us was he looked at relationships and he said, well, I don't know what he said, but in my mind he said, what are the key parts of experience that if we were in contact with them, our relationships would be more connected and more harmonious? Yeah. So he did his little tiny relationship Abhidharma version. I don't even know if he knew about the Abhidharma, but that's how it lands for me. So he pulled out these 5 aspects of experience and he said, if you pay attention to these, there's a chance you could create the quality of connection that you're looking for in collaborating with others. The last thing I want to name is this sense of responsibility and profound interdependence that I see both frameworks supporting or pointing us towards. So we have our vow in Buddhist practice to benefit all life. And as we say that vow, we really recognize how everything we do and say, even if it's silent on the inside, impacts the web of life around us, near and far. And so in NVC, it's the same motivation that when I'm in contact with my experience, with the intention to consider your experience, right? Marshall often talked about, I want to meet my need in harmony with other people's needs. So it's not this grasping onto my need, yeah? It's this expansion. If I have an equanimous relationship to my experience, feelings, needs, 57 mental factors, all that, then I can also consider your experience and meet your needs. And the more I bring that acute, subtle awareness to what's alive in me, the more responsible I can be for my own inner world, the more I can be in harmony with you. It was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. But that's what I have for you today.